for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 22 coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Red Zone Coins. Use code VENM at checkout for 10% off. Yo, what's up, guys? Venom Fire here, back with another video, and today we're going to be bringing you guys a video on how to adjust like a pro, quick adjust to be exact, in Madden 22. Now, of course, quick adjust mainly on defense. Going to show you guys how all those pro players make all their quick adjustments, how you're able to put players in different zones. If you're new to the game, you probably don't understand if you're watching any defensive video on how to get better, at least mine. When I say, put B in a cloud flat or man up your slot cornerback on the tight end or something like that, you're probably like, well, how do I do that? How is he doing that so fast? What's the best way? What's the best method? That's kind of what I'm going to be explaining. If you guys do want to see like a coach adjustments video, I might drop that as well. That is something I also did last year in addition to this video. So we're mainly going to go through pretty much the cornerback section, the defensive linemen, the linebackers, and then maybe just the base stuff like how to quarterback contain, base like press your DBs, pinch the whole defense, shade over the top, base line, stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with the cornerbacks. That is the main part of kind of quick adjusting. When you press Y, of course, quick adjust is going to be that Y icon. Same thing with the D line. You press the D pad to the left, the D pad to the left again. That is going to be your quick adjust. And then your linebackers is your D pad to the right. And then, of course, quick adjust is D pad to the right again. So to pull it up, you're just going to double tap either Y, D pad to the left, or D pad to the right to get to your original spot. So, for example, just simply double tap Y. Again, if you have to press, you're going to single tap Y. Then we'll also go over how to individually do different things like back off a receiver. But we're going to focus in on the quick adjustments first. So that's going to be double tap Y. This will pull up your defender selection option screen. And here you can press or select any defensive back on the field that's in a defensive back spot. So if you have a safety at linebacker, he'll still be under the linebacker section. All right, so let's just click on one random one now. You got to keep in mind, there's going to be 3 different ways to quick adjust with just your cornerbacks. You have 2 cornerbacks on the outside, 2 safeties, so those will be 2 different sections, the outside corner, the safety, and then the slot corner. So all 3 of them have different styles of adjustments, different things that you can do. Of course, I am in a nickel defense, just a base defense. So let's start out with the outside corner. What can you do? So I'm going to double tap Y, and then I can press B or X, circle or square. And now you have a couple of options. So I'm just going to go through every zone. You have an outside third. This will be mainly for cover 3. You see I'm in just like a base cover 2, but of course, the player I'm adjusting, Byron Jones over here, he now goes into an outside third. Hard flat, that's going to be the left stick to the left side. Hard flat, going to be a very aggressive zone. If you want to stop flat routes or drag routes, that's the zone for that. Cloud flat, down on the left stick, so that's something you can do. Again, just double tap Y, B, and down on the left stick. So it seems like, that might be a lot of adjustments, but once you get it down, you can do these very quickly, basically like forming combinations almost. So, the last thing you have is soft squat. This is an aggressive zone. It'll kind of match on these zones. I'm not going to explain exactly what every zone does, but soft squat, different type of a cloud flat, a little bit more aggressive. Now let's move to one of the more important ones, which will be man coverage. So man coverage, for example, if I just flick that right stick up, I still have some more things to do. So double tap Y, press B, flick that right stick up, and then you can man him up. Of course, since he's on the right, I can only man him up on either that receiver to his side or the running back. Of course, this is bunch. If it was spread, I would get like 2 receivers and a running back option. Trips, you might get 3. So, or 3 wide receivers, probably no tight end. But of course, just depends on the formation. So I can press B, and now all of a sudden he is manned up. So again, to do that, double tap Y, press B or circle, flick the right stick up, and then you can select who you want. That's how to man someone up. That's going to be the exact same for every single player, not just DBs, but corners and linebackers and defensive linemen as well. Moving on, you got an outside quarter zone, right stick to the inside. You got blitz, which you'll never use, but down on the right stick, which is the same for all of these, and then deep half. So that's going to be the right stick to the right. Now, again, it's important to remember, you might think, to the inside. So, obviously, outside quarter is inside in this case, but if I were to go to the X, the icons stay at the same side. So, obviously, deep half is still to the right for my X cornerback, as it is with my B cornerback. So you won't really have to change those. Also, I probably should have explained why quick adjustments are so valuable, and the biggest reason is you don't have to move your user around. If you're new to the game, what you're doing for adjustments right now is probably moving around, putting him. I can press A, and then I get my adjustments, just like here, which it's easier just to sit on your user and then just adjust around the field. Pretty simple stuff. Also, to pull up your quick adjustments menu or any adjustment menu, you do not have to press the right stick. If you're new to the game, you're probably pressing that right stick. You don't have to do it at all. It, of course, shows you what you're adjusting, but I can press Y. It'll pull that up rather than adding a step by pressing R3 and then pressing Y, which will just pull you to the exact same screen. So that's our cornerback. Let's hop quickly into the safeties now. So we're going to pull up the safeties, double tap Y. Let's go with A. So A, you see we got a couple of different things. We have things in different spots as well. So instead of like 4 different flat options, or as, let's see, how many do they have? So yeah, they have 3 different flat options. The safeties only have 1 flat option, which is going to be that curl flat zone. You see that is going to be, this zone is going to be the purple zone. So let's just actually clear out B, but it's going to be the purple zone, the curl flat. He's kind of in the way, but there you go. See the curl flat. That's going to be just a deeper type of zone over a cloud flat. Next thing you have is deep half, which is what he was already on here. Deep half, again, simple stuff, but you see how the deep half for the safety is in a different spot than the cornerback. That's going to be the left stick up. For an inside third, that's going to be left stick inside, which I believe, again, these safeties, for either safety, they're in the same exact spot. Left stick inside, now he is in an inside third, which is a very valuable thing to know how to do. You got a hook curl zone, which will be a yellow hook zone. So if you ever want to put your player here for your running man coverage, this is something you want to know. And that's pretty much it for the left side. Let's go over the right side now. So you got man coverage, of course, which is something with the safeties you can do is man them up on any player on the field. So I'm not limited to just 2 players on a side. I can cross man these players, so I can cross man him on X if I wanted to, like this. Maybe I set up my defense something like this. So now he's cross-manned. If X is on like a slant, he'll defend that a little bit better than he typically would. So just some valuable knowledge to know. You man them up on any player. So next thing is a quarterback spy. You're not really ever going to spy this guy. So you see he's in the QB spy. The color is pretty faded. Kind of hate how they did that. But he's in the quarterback spy. Again, not really useful. Blitz, of course, same thing. And then the last thing is an inside quarter. Can be useful. But yeah, those are your safety adjustments. Now let's move into the slot cornerback section, which will be L1. Depending on the formation, it could also be Y. More times than not, it will be L1 though. So again, LB if you're on Xbox. But yeah, LB, you see we got some different stuff. We have the new zones in this are going to be the seam flat, the vertical hook, and the bluff blitz. There. Seam flat, I never use this, but it is there. Defends the seams, and it's kind of like a curl flat, but it's first will follow the seams. I don't think that zone's really useful at all. You have the curl flat, which will be the left stick to the right, just like here. And then you have your vertical hook, hard flat, pretty much the same stuff we've gone over. Here's your vertical hook. So basic stuff again, same way to pull it up, double tap Y, press L1, and then of course you have your other stuff. New zone will be the bluff blitz, which he's gonna start on a blitz immediately. Certain formation, this guy can be in either a vertical hook. He could also be in a 3-receiver hook as well. And of course, same stuff, man coverage. You see this guy, he's limited in his man coverage. All the cornerbacks are, so I can put him on X, A, R, B, or Y. So I can kind of cross man him over to that running back. I believe almost any player can man up with the running back, so I could even man up Xavier Howard over here. But yeah, those are pretty much all of your quick adjustments for the secondary that you will need to know. Again, mainly quick adjustments, but we will show some other stuff as well, like how to shade over the top, how to press, all that stuff, base align. Let's go over the linebackers, though. We'll start out with the linebackers. Again, the linebackers, deep pad to the right. So deep out of the right, you got 2 linebackers in this particular formation, which will be A and X. These guys should have the exact same thing, so no different things. I believe maybe if they're on like an outside linebacker, I'm not exactly sure, but I think they should be relatively the same. Maybe if they were like on the D-line, but those would have big D-line adjustments anyway. But for these, you got middle third, curl flat, hook curl, middle read. The new zone in that would probably be the middle read, which is the zone he's in, not used really at all, so you don't really need to know that. Yeah, you have your mid read. Moving on to your other things, you got, again, hook curl, curl flat, middle third. I've already talked about kind of all of those. You man coverage, you can man up on any player, as you see here with the linebackers, definitely useful. You will see people talk about manning up the linebackers, so you do want to know how to do that. Hard flat, quarterback spy, and blitz. So relatively simple stuff from your linebackers. Let's talk about the D-line now. Now the D-line, again, similar to actually this slot cornerback. You see you can put them in a seam flat. Now your D tackles will be a little bit different from your defensive ends. Let's talk about the defensive ends first, which will be D-pad to the left to get up to the screen, and then X and B. So you have seam flat, vertical hook, curl flat, hard flat. Same exact thing as the slot cornerback. So the useful things you'll want to know from the D-line are probably QB spy, right stick inside. Vertical hook you might do, but hard flat as well. So you mainly want to remember that hard flat is the left stick to the left, and QB spy is right stick to the left. Mainly the things you're going to need. Again, if you want to know how to hard flat this player, your linebacker, that's going to be right stick to the right. So different things from linebackers and defensive linemen. So that can get a little bit confusing. Even sometimes I get confused by it. But yeah, let's talk about defensive tackles now. So defensive tackles, you see we have vertical hook right, vertical hook left, hooker left, hooker right. That is because you cannot put defensive tackles in flat zones. Now I can still man them up, but you can only man them up usually on like a tight end or the running back, as you can see here. So, you know, basic stuff there, not too much to talk about. You'll rarely put them in any zone besides the quarterback spy, so not really even a need for me to go over, but I will talk about how you do it. Again, D-pad to the left twice, A, and then you can do whatever you want from there. Anyways, let's talk about some things that you might do, or I might talk about in videos that will be useful to know. We're going to press this right stick, or R3, pull up our basic menu. And we're going to go to the defensive keys, which is going to be R1. So this is going to either shift or adjust your entire defense. And you have some other things. So if you forget to set your coaching adjustments to, you know, either defend the quarterback or running back in a read option setting, I can press A so that they will focus on the quarterback, or X if they'll focus on the running back. So that's something useful. I don't remember if they've always had that, but I don't think so. The next thing you have is quarterback contain. So I might say contain, which is just double tap RB. So I press RB, and again, so I just double tap it. And there you see they are now in quarterback contains, which will usually come in handy for blitzes, but can also come in handy in base coverage defense. So that's how you contain. If you want to know how to cancel a contain, you can't. There's not really a way to really cancel it, but just push your D-pad to the left and then slant outside. So this is the basic defensive lineman screen, which will help you shift players, which we will go into later. Again, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. This is a very long informational video. But yeah, pretty much to cancel, I can just slant them anyway, and now you see they are not on contain anymore, but it's pretty difficult to reset them. I don't think you can really reset how they were blitzing. Maybe if you just press D-pad to the left and that left trigger, I think that might clear everything, but that is probably the only way. So that's going to do it pretty much for our defensive keys from the bottom section. Now what we'll do is go to that right section. So you see you have the section that says pass, run left, run right, run up middle. If you ever hear someone say, I'm going to run commit here, they're at the 1 yard line, I want you to run commit, or pass commit, which pass commit's not really used a whole lot. I use pass commit usually in like 3rd and 20s. I think it minimally helps your sheds or something. Maybe reaction times, not sure. We've never gotten from EA what these actually do completely, so pass commit. But if I run commit, that's going to be R1 down on the right stick. You can do that pretty quickly, and now if I throw the ball, everyone is going to rush no matter what. It's just going to reset literally everything. So if you made 20 adjustments, you accidentally run commit, which sometimes people do accidentally run commit, and that's what it means. You accidentally press that right stick down. Usually I'll just run commit down. You can run commit to the left maybe, but it's probably better just to go down. Let's go over the left section. This will be to pinch your defense. So some blitzes, I'll say pinch my defense. That's going to be down the left stick. You see what happens is my linebackers will come in tighter. My defensive line will pinch, and my cornerbacks will press down. So that's going to be a way to save time. If you're doing all that stuff anyway, instead of just pressing Y down on the left stick, D-pad left down on the left stick, and right D-pad or D-pad to the right down on the left stick, you can just press R1 down, and that's going to save you a lot of time. If you want to back them all up, it's going to be up, and then you can, of course, shift to the left, which I've never used this in all of my years of playing Madden, the R1, shift left, shift right. Now, also, something I want to talk about is how to flip your play, and the way you flip your play is going to be by pressing X or square, pull up the audible menu, which will help you audible if you had to. This particular formation does not let us audible to anything because of the playbook I'm in, but you see RT is going to be to flip your play. I flip it, my cornerbacks go to the other side. And then, of course, LT will reset your play. So if I'm showing something, I can just press LT. It'll restart my play art. Now, I'm not sure why this weird stuff's happening, but sometimes different things happen. So usually you want to have auto flip on. I usually have auto flip on myself. And like flip is bunch. So if I believe if I flip my bunch, my defense will not go with it. So that's the occasion where you would probably want to flip your play. Not sure why in Big Nickel over G my adjustments are getting like completely whacked out, but all right, now let's talk about the basic things. So we're just going to talk about basic stuff, which will be just pressing Y, not double tapping it, just pressing Y. So we're just going to press Y. This is our entire secondary again. So what I can do here is play the sticks. What playing the 6 does is if it's 1st and 10, your zones will sit around that 10-yard mark at the first down marker. Your safeties will play a little bit shorter down, so if it's like a 3rd and 20, you don't want to give up like a post route right at the 20-yard line, you can do that, but you're susceptible to getting beat even deeper than that. Of course, you can give cushion, show blitz, base align. If you want to base align, that's going to be Y and that left stick to the right. Shading over the top, you'll hear me say shade over the top a lot. If I'm pressed, I'm always shading over the top. That's Y up on that right stick. You can shade inside, outside. I don't really use those, but also shade underneath, down on that right stick. Man align. This is just going to give a little bit of a man coverage look. So if you're one of the players that likes to confuse people, so if I press, I man align. Looks like man coverage. Good way to confuse opponents. I definitely like doing that. Also, if they are in a spread formation, you man align. This will get your guys even more confused on offense. Left stick to the left is going to be show blitz. What this does is it can come in handy during some blitzes, but sometimes when you do it, this guy will like move down all the way. Weird stuff happens, but for blitzes, sometimes you have to do it. Then, of course, you have press, give cushion, basic stuff there. The last thing I'm going to talk about is individual. So if I'm in a press defense, you see my corners are going to press. Let's say I know he's putting Mike Williams on a streak on that right side. How do I back up just that corner? But I want to stay pressed on the bunch side. That's going to be Y, A, and then I can press B because that's the receiver that he is on. And then I can just press up on either the left stick or the right stick. I'm not sure why it says right stick, but I always use left stick. He bounces up, and now he is not pressed. If it's man coverage, he's not going to get burnt. Now let's go to the D-line. Again, all I'm doing to pull up this menu is just pressing D-pad to the left once. You got spread, so I can spread my D-line. I can shift them to the left, pinch them. I can shift them to the right. And then, of course, you have your basic stuff like slant inside, slant outside. This comes in handy during blitzes. Usually what I'll do in Big Nickel over G is I'll pinch my D-line and slant outside. I feel like that gives me the best chance at getting block sheds and things like that, or getting quick pressure. But again, you can do all those different things. That's how you do it. Just D-pad to the left, up on the left stick, up on the right stick. Basic stuff right there. And last but not least, the linebackers. Again, same stuff, but if you ever hear someone say blitz all linebackers for like a blitz, or if I say that, it's D-pad to the right, down on the right stick. That's how I just blitz all my linebackers. You could zone them, like if I wanted to manually blitz one of the guys, which if I just wanted to, like, let's reset it. Let's go to zone all. But if I wanted to blitz at this left guy, I think if I just push that right stick, or let's go with the right guy. I push the D-pad to the right and that right stick to the right. And now he is on a blitz. These guys are kind of flipped, I guess, but that is how you do it. Usually I'll just double tap D-pad to the right and then just manually do it. That is honestly less confusing for me. But you can do it either way. Again, that's an adjustment I will never use. But that's pretty much it. I feel like we've kind of touched base on anything. If you have more questions, let me know in the comment section for sure. I will be answering all of those if you need help adjusting. But yeah, as far as just building speed for this, Just go in practice mode, practice, just play games, practice. The way I was always get defenses down, like if I had to set up a man coverage based defense or like a cover 4 type defense, I just man up. I would just go like this, boom, 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 something like this, and you see how even I kind of mess up sometimes. I still don't have these adjustments down perfectly. Sometimes I will even still get confused, but I can set up like a cover 4 easily on here. If I wanted to set up like a man coverage look on the right, I could easily go man him up, curl flat, inside third, and now we have like a cover 3. It's not saved, but that is like a cover 3 lock, type look. But yeah, just go and practice. If I post a defensive video, you can just watch the video. I'll tell all the adjustments in it, and then you can just sit in practice mode, practice it yourself for like an hour, and then get into a game. That's what I would recommend. But yeah, just reps, pretty much basic stuff. So if you guys have any questions, of course, let me know. That's going to do it for the video. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and peace. I'm out of here.